one of the examples that was presented today, which I felt was really touching a chord, was the presentation by Blake from Tom's about the launch of a coffee brand on this one-for-one model. I thought that was really powerful because it was, true to the one-for-one model, but it was taking it a step further by connecting, the coffee consumer with water, which is necessary for coffee making, but water for the needy, for the people who don't have access to potable water. And I thought that was a very powerful, purposeful story.
There were so many examples, I think, that stood out today, but the one, I guess, which probably touched me the most was the Goldie blocks. I think that, brands, especially brands that are quite established, really have a role to play in making sure that those parts of the community that perhaps are getting left behind, that they can actually play a role in making sure that those deficits are actually filled. And I thought the fact that there's a stereotype there around girls and engineering and those sorts of things. So being able to actually support them to have a role or a voice that they might not have had before was really special.
What struck me was the Tom's brand. Not so much the execution, rather than the concept, the business model. A social entrepreneur who moves into a relatively commoditized market, which is the shoe market, and offers the one-for-one concept, whereby a pair of shoes is being offered to an African child each time you buy a pair of shoes, and explaining the importance of shoes in Africa, which is actually access to education for children, and just realizing how powerful that can be as a differentiator in a commoditized market.
The one that really struck me was Goldie blocks. I think having a brand that is built around such a strong sense of purpose and desire to make a difference to the individual really came through as a really strong sense of brand purpose, but then translated into real action as well. And I think that's the bit that the examples that we saw today, if you try and link them all together, if you look at what makes them all successful, is there's not just a sense of understanding of what the brand purpose is and what makes the brand unique, but they've also brought it to life in a consistent way over time in a variety of different ways. So not just through the products, but through the different marketing activities, through the advertising, whatever it is that the brand does, it comes to life through that. So